Well, finally, somebody in town stands up and says the right thing. All the town officials are afraid to say something because if Crabtree, or when Crabtree is anointed the next king of Saugus, they then have to work with him and they might find it uncomfortable. So for somebody to stand up and show their muster is pretty good in my book. You know, a lot of people, even people that are voting on this for selectmen, may feel that, you know, it's inevitable, so I might as well vote for it and have a better working situation with Crabtree than to stand up and actually show the guts to say, no, this isn't right, and vote no. You know, that's politics. That's what it boils down to, everybody, is when you don't vote your heart, you vote what'll make your life easier and what you can get out of it in the future. But Terry Katsos on the Finance Committee, she's had enough with what's going on, and she really spoke out at last night's FinCom meeting. She said, we have an acting town manager that doesn't come in and speak with us. We don't have the town accountant being represented. We don't have the treasurer collector. We have no idea what's going on in this town. Talk about transparency. We have none. Now, why aren't these people going to the meetings? Has everything been put off in town until the audit review comes out? I mean, we should be continuing trying to move forward with what we have and not just putting our heads back in the shell and hoping for the best. That's sad to see. Katsos then turned her attention to the town manager search and said it's totally inappropriate that the Board of Selectmen is rushing the process. What happened to a committee to hire people, or an outside firm that wouldn't have these deep-seated love notions for Crabtree, that would do it arbitrarily and effectively? Now, that was one of the options, but that never happened, did it? It doesn't need to happen because they're just going to put Crabtree in there. So that's the sad part about the whole thing. That's why we, as community members of Saugus, have been duped. Now, Katsos goes on then to turn her attention to the town manager search. Oh, I already said that. She goes on to say this board is being left in the dark, and now the selectmen are making random decisions about who's going to be the next town manager based on what? On popularity? Because that's all I see, she said. I hope that whoever gets appointed has some financial background and can come in here and help us. Not just a paper saying they graduated from something, but actually has worked the job and knows what they're talking about, because that's what this town needs to right the ship. Until that happens, I think we as a community are wasting our time. That's what we're doing, folks. See, somebody with financial knowledge knows that you can't just sit down and have a bachelor's degree with a financial concentration. That's like learning, basic finance. That's not understanding municipal finance. It's a whole different animal than just finance. There's so many different aspects to municipal finance that you need somebody who's been on the job, that's learned how to do it. That's why it's amazing that Dave Castellarin didn't even get a final interview. He's got 24 years of municipal finance background. So, since Dave's not a finalist, that looks to the only other applicant, I forget his name, since Mark Andrews bowed out, there's only one other guy. Now, he has some good experience as a town administrator. That already puts him head and shoulders above Crabtree. But we're still going to just move forward and put in somebody because he's the guy at the moment. You know, that's why we're being duped, folks of Saugus. We're being duped.